Nature Fix is proudly sponsored by Craghopper, one of the UK's favourite outdoor gear experts. Craghopper and the National Trust have joined forces to create a collection inspired by nature and designed for life. Sales from the range help to support the National Trust's vital work, restoring some of our incredible natural landscapes, from delicate wetlands to boggy peatlands. Together, we are working to look after nature and care for our landscapes for generations to come. Hello and welcome to Nature Fix with me, Claire Hickenbotham. Every month we take you with us as we meet the people who spend their time outside and join them in a place that most inspires them. The sun is setting and we're entering an unusual wildlife haven, Arnos Vale Cemetery in the middle of the urban hustle of Bristol. Dr. Parvathy Venugopal is taking us on a mission to find one of our most charismatic and misunderstood creatures of the night, bats. So mind your step and look up as we enter the twilight hour in search of our fluttering and slightly freaky friends. Wherever you may be, whether it's the countryside or a city, the chances are you're not far away from the wildlife that I'm looking for tonight. I have come to Bristol and I'm walking down a path with a lot of street art on it, which I think is really synonymous with Bristol. But I'm heading to a quite unusual city location to get a glimpse of an enigmatic animal, bats. And to find them, I'm going to be meeting an expert from the Bat Conservation Trust. Hi! Nice to meet you.
You too. I am from the Bat Conservation Trust. I am Parvathy. I work in the National Bat Monitoring Programme.
Fantastic. So where are we going to tonight?
So I think my plan is just to take you to this very pretty cemetery. I don't know whether the pretty and cemetery words goes together, but it's a very pretty cemetery, big one in Bristol, called Arnos Vale. But we are going to take a sort of urban setup route. We walk through the backside of the Sainsbury's and then finally get into the cemetery and look for some bats if you're lucky.
Fantastic. So you must lead the way. We've come from quite a residential part of the city, haven't we? So
yes.
Lots of Victorian terraced housing. So we're just skirting around the supermarket car park.
Lovely bird songs.
What can you hear? Are you good at recognising the bird song?
I can see a blackbird on top of the trees. It's over there.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
And we're just coming up to a busy road. So I have a confession to make.
Yeah.
Don't know a lot about bats, and I'm a little bit scared of bats.
That's absolutely fine. You're not the only one, actually. Many people are the same, like me personally. I was not scared of bats when I was a child, but I didn't like them. The reason behind that was, so I'm from south of India, so I studied in a village school. Classroom roofs were like, the tiled ones, and we got this little tiny, teeny black creatures in them. They often stain my white and blue uniform most of the days with their urine or poo. So I didn't like them at all.
I think that's fair. So when did the love of nature start?
I think I got that from my parents because my mum, she loves gardening and she still has got a really good vegetable garden. And my dad, he was an environmental activist, so he used to take me with him when he goes to schools or places where he gives talk.
So your dad kind of started that
love in me. And also I come from a villagey area, so my house was next to a paddy field. So we used to go and play in the paddy field after the harvest. So it was, always out there, very accessible. Back in India, there was two routes mostly during that time. Either you go medical field or engineering. I didn't get a place in a government college to study medical degree. Then I was scrolling through the handbook, what other courses they offer. And I landed on this course called forestry. I thought, oh wow, I can go to forests. I told my parents, okay, I'm gonna go take that course. They were not really happy because they didn't know where I'm gonna land. But then they sort of trusted me, and like whatever they wanted was like just, having a good education. During my master's, by accident, I did a project on bats. And that's when I first handled a bat. That's when I was like, oh my God, these are so cute. So if you handle them properly, they were like really, snuggly and snuffly, like really fluffy. And that sort of realization, like, oh, I like working in this area. I love studying about nature. So I sort of like I often say, I took the wrong train, but somehow I landed at the right destination.
That's a really nice saying. I like that. Well, we're nearly at the cemetery now. So you're taking me to Arnos Vale Cemetery.
Yes.
We're just going through the gates, and oh my word. I mean, there are some very big structures in here. Tombs, mausoleums.
Yeah, and I can see some tombs are taller than me.
It's absolutely fantastic. We've got this lovely patch of green grass in front of us, which looks like there are more modern graves here. But this is like a Victorian cemetery, isn't it?
Yes.
Because we think of bats and cemeteries as being quite a good mix because of some of the myths, don't we? So are they making a home in the cemetery because there are lots of places where they can roost?
Yeah, exactly. So they can just roost. They can find a home in old mature trees or in buildings. We have seen quite a lot of old Victorian type buildings in the cemetery. So they can find a home, plus they can just go out and get easy dinner. There are a lot of insects maybe here. You don't need to commute that far to get your dinner every night. So this is a perfect location for bats. And bats are really sort of cosmopolitan. They can habitat anywhere except Antarctica. They are in all continents. And that makes them the second largest mammalian order after rodents. So there are so many cool, amazing facts about them. Last winter, I went out in one of the caves in the Mendip Hills around Bristol doing a hibernation survey, and I learned a new fact about bats there. So they can just hang upside down just with one foot, sleeping completely without dropping off from the ceiling, so that they have a special kind of lock in their foot which keeps them there. Even if they are dead, they can still hang sort of upside down. Yeah, so it's like every time when I meet another bat person who is interested in bats, I learn new things.
Okay, so I'm just going to check the time because it's 9 o'clock in the evening now. This is going to be the perfect time.
Sunset time already?
It's about sunset, isn't it?
I'm hoping we might start seeing some pipistrelles, because that's one of the species that comes out early in the evening, just before the sunset or soon after the sunset.
So how big are they?
So they are like the size of your thumb.
Oh, so really tiny.
Really tiny. So the smallest bat in the UK is the soprano pipistrelle, which with the wing folder you can fit them into a matchbox. Oh. They're just like a 2-pound coin weight. The bats use a sort of special skill is called echolocation. So they emit sound waves and they listen for the echoes coming back on any sort of objects. The bat echolocation calls are ultrasounds. That means our human ears are not very able to listen to that frequency. We can only hear up to 20 kilohertz. So most of the bats they call above 20 kilohertz. So we need help of this special equipment called bat detectors.
Got a little bit of kit here.
Yes.
A bat detector.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to describe it as like an old-fashioned mobile phone. It's a bit brick-like, but it's about the size of a mobile phone, isn't it? So you can fit it in your pocket or your bag.
This is a very cheap one I'm using, which is called Heterodyne. You can get these detectors starting from £60. What this does, it says I have a frequency dial here, so I can turn the frequency up and down, and each bat species has got specific peak frequencies, like, I have a unique voice and you do, and same as to bats. I can't see anything flying up here, but I'm just gonna turn the detector. Yeah.
Should we carry on? Because I've got a funny feeling that we're going to have a fantastic view when we've got to the top of this hill.
Yeah.
And the light is very quickly going, isn't it? We'll keep our eyes to the treetops, I guess, is the best place that we might see them. So do you bring people on bat walks?
Where I go to London and take people out. We did one in partnership with the Royal Parks last year.
What are people's reaction when they see them and they're a bit more tuned in to what they're experiencing?
Yeah, that's quite surprised me because most people attended that event. They never knew there are bats in London. And when they hear bats in a detector, they were like, oh, wow, that's so cool. And then they straight look up in the sky so they can see them. Because, you know, if you go on a walk in an evening like this, you never look up that often, do you? So you can easily miss out things flying past. But when they saw that, just like, they were all excited.
Do you think being in a city is a bit of a barrier to accessing nature, or is it just about knowing where to look for it?
That's a sort of a common myth, isn't it? If you are in a city, you don't get any wildlife, but which is not true. You need to go to a green space, or sometimes they can come to your garden. If you look out after sunset, if you see these little things flying around and around, that might be a bat. So in the UK, we got 17 breeding species of bats. And in London, you could get, I think it's 13 or 14, I might be wrong, I need to check, but that many numbers, more than half of the total bats in the UK, you get in the middle of London.
And that's in London, we're in Bristol. So,
yes,
you know, it's a really nice way to access nature on your doorstep in the city, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So what would you say to people to encourage them to come out at this time of night and to do this sort of thing?
For me personally, going out in the park or, you know, just being out in the nature calms me down after a long day of work. It brings peace. It's very sort of, I don't know, serene. So even the fresh air really calms me down, and I get like, my brain suddenly feels like, oh wow, just woke up sort of feeling.
Do you feel like that's something that you need to actively have in your life?
Yes, especially after coming here, because I'm far away from my family or close friends. I do have really good friends here, but still, you know, going out for a walk, especially doing bat walks like this, often introduce me to people, sort of like-minded people. So there's always a chance to meet a new person and make friends. So we are walking through the park now, but we are sort of heading to the open bit of the park. So hopefully we can see more displays there.
As you're saying that, we're listening to a bird, and I don't know whether it's a crow, but I'm feeling like it's just adding to that atmosphere of the sun is going down.
Yes.
We've got the spooky birds in the background, and we're talking about bats. So why are so many of the things we associate with bats bad and dark and spooky?
I think it's mainly to do with the, not knowing about them, because they wake up at the night by the time we go to bed. So you never see them. People more talk about birds or like big animals like tigers, elephants, because you can see them. They're very charismatic, but bats are like mostly black in color. At night, dark, you don't see them. So it's quite easy to come up with all these myths. Just the sort of fear side, I guess. Another myth about bats is that people think that they drink blood. But as I mentioned, there are 1,400 more than that bats in the world, and only 3 of them drink cattle blood, and they're all in South and Central America. So you don't need to be afraid going out in this country and looking for bats. Yeah.
Where should we go then next to have a look?
I think we should head down to there so you can come out of this woody bit. Oh, I can see a bat there. Just flew. I think it's a pipistrelle. It was very small, flying very quick.
Oh, and now I've got something.
Yeah. Can you hear that?
And I think I saw it just come right across in front of us.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, yeah. Can you see that? Yes.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yes. Yes.
And he actually went quite close to us, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the bit I'm scared of. This is going to sound ridiculous, but I'm really scared of them getting tangled in my hair.
You know what? I would say the second most popular myth about bats, because most people think that they can get stuck in your hair. If they can detect a teeny tiny mosquito in dark, they can definitely detect you on your head.
Oh, yeah, oh my gosh. So we've got 2 or 3 now,
Yes,
crisscrossing each
yeah.
other. They look bigger than you described
Yes,
them.
yes.
Because of that wingspan, I guess.
Yes.
And these are all the same sorts of bats we're
Yeah, I
hearing.
think they are a soprano pipistrelle because we are getting the loudest sound at 55 kilohertz. So if I go down to 45, yeah, I think we got both species, common pipistrelle and soprano pipistrelle.
So the bats are eating insects.
Yes. All the UK bats feed on insects.
Do they eat anything else?
Yeah, some bats, they do eat spiders. There are species, they eat fishes and big sort of beetles.
Who are the bats' predators?
So you'll be surprised with my answer. So here in the UK, most of the bat kills, of course, they face quite a lot of threats like habitat fragmentation and destruction of old mature trees or buildings. But cats are another one. Yeah, they attack bats. They catch them sometimes from the roost, especially. So if you have a bat roost in your house, so cats can easily catch them. Sometimes in some tropics, especially, spiders can also feed on bats if they get a sort of bat tangled in the spider web.
And it depends on size.
Depends on the size.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're getting a constant stream now, aren't we?
Yeah. I'm so glad I can see your excitement.
I
now.
am excited. I am, and I'm not scared. I don't know if because they're small enough.
Yes.
So you can hear them before you see them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you kind of know
you
where
can
to look.
prepare your
Yeah.
mind.
So they'll start heading in now. As the light goes even more, they'll go into the trees, will they?
Yes, yeah, where they can find more insects into the woods.
I feel like we've been here at prime bat dinner time.
Yes, yeah, dinner time, yeah.
We've got a great flurry of them in the cemetery, and
Yeah.
you know, I reckon we've probably got 20 minutes of daylight left, and we want to be out of here. So should we turn our bat detector off? Because
Yes,
we know
yeah.
what we're looking for now, don't we? And should we start heading back down?
Yeah, back down. Yeah. Okay.
Are you very pleased that we've
I
seen
am
them?
actually. Yeah. How are you feeling now about them?
Well, I feel genuinely like really excited that the thing that we came to see, we've seen.
Yes.
And like you said, in so much of nature, sometimes that doesn't happen, does it? But I feel more love for them than I did at the beginning of the night, which I guess is your aim, isn't it?
Yes.
We found the back gate, so this is the way out. Amazing view of Bristol, actually. With the twinkling lights as the city kind of wakes up for the evening. We're emerging out of the park now, back onto the busy city streets, to the petrol station and the pub. And it's just another marker, really, of how close nature is to an urban centre and how accessible it is, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
What would be your final thought for people to encourage them to come out?
Sort of be open and just go and explore what's out there in your local area, because we don't have that many wildlife left in this world. So you are very lucky to see them, observe them, so don't miss the chance.
If you're planning on going bat spotting, they're busy settling down for the winter right now, but April to October is a great time to spot them. Please stay safe if you're exploring in the dark. Take a torch and a buddy with you, and make sure you follow bat protection guidance. Check out the Bat Conservation Trust website for everything you ever need to know about bats. Thanks for listening to Nature Fix. We'll be back next month with a new episode. And in the meantime, why not have a listen to our other nature podcast, Wild Tales. Bye for now. Nature Fix is proudly sponsored by outdoor gear experts Craghopper's. Heading out for adventure? Discover Craghopper's National Trust range of clothing and accessories. Inspired by nature and designed to last, each item in the collection comes with a guarantee for life. And with every purchase, you're helping to support the Trust's vital work restoring our natural landscapes. Get ready for your journey outdoors at craghopper.com/national-trust.